The glass doors of the dealership slid open with a soft mechanical sigh as the two boys stepped inside, the smell of polished leather and new rubber immediately wrapping around them. Sunlight bounced off chrome grills and spotless windshields, creating a quiet, intimidating shine. For a moment, they both paused, taking it all in. Ion was taller, broad-shouldered for his age, with an easy confidence that came from years of watching his father handle boardrooms and contracts. He wore jeans and a simple hoodie, clean but ordinary. Beside him was Zane, slimmer, quieter, his eyes wide with fascination as he looked at the cars. His sneakers were scuffed, his jacket a hand-me-down that didn't quite fit right. "Bro," Zane whispered, nudging Ion's arm, "are we really allowed in here?" Ion smiled. "It's a dealership, not a museum. Relax." They'd come on foot, walking nearly 3 kilometers from their school. Their classes had ended early because of a power issue, and instead of heading straight home, Ion had suggested stopping by the luxury dealership near the main road. His father owned several cars like the ones inside, and Ion had grown up around them, but Zane had only ever seen such vehicles in pictures or passing by at traffic lights. Inside, the dealership was quiet, almost reverent. A man in a tailored suit stood near a desk, tapping on a tablet. Another employee adjusted the angle of a car under bright white lights. Neither of them looked up at the boys immediately. Zane drifted toward a black Rolls-Royce parked near the center. Its hood ornament gleamed like a tiny sculpture, and the interior looked like something from another world. He didn't touch it, just leaned forward slightly to peer inside. "This one costs more than my entire street," he murmured. Ion chuckled. "Probably more than 2 streets." That was when the suited man finally noticed them. His eyes flicked over their clothes, lingering for a fraction of a second too long on Zane's worn shoes. His jaw tightened. "Excuse me," he said sharply, walking toward them. "Can I help you?" "Yes," Ion replied politely. "We were just looking around." The man frowned. "This is a premium dealership. Are you here with an appointment? Or, with your parents?" Zane shifted uncomfortably, hands shoved into his pockets. Ion straightened. "No appointment. We're just browsing." The man's smile, if it could be called that, was thin. "Browsing isn't really allowed here. These vehicles are not display items." Ion raised an eyebrow. "Isn't that the point of a showroom?" Before the man could respond, another employee, older and heavier, joined them. He crossed his arms and looked the boys up and down. "Look, kids," he said, his tone dripping with impatience, "this isn't a place to hang out. You're disturbing serious customers." "There are no customers here," Ion replied calmly. The older man's eyes hardened. "Not yet. And we'd like to keep it that way. Please leave." Zane's face flushed. "We're not touching anything," he said quietly. "We just wanted to see." "I said leave," the man snapped, pointing toward the door. Now, the silence in the showroom felt heavier than before. Ion glanced at Zane, saw the embarrassment and hurt flicker across his face. Slowly, Ion nodded. "All right," he said. "We're leaving." As they turned toward the exit, Ion caught a glimpse of their reflections in the glass. 2 teenage boys, shoulders slightly hunched, suddenly aware of how small they looked in that vast, expensive space. Outside, the doors slid shut behind them. Zane let out a shaky breath. "I'm sorry," he muttered. "Maybe I shouldn't have come. They probably thought I was going to steal something." Ion clenched his jaw. "You did nothing wrong." Zane tried to laugh it off. "It's fine. I guess people like us don't belong in places like that." Ion stopped walking and turned to face him. "Don't ever say that." Zane looked down at the pavement. "It's true, though." Ion took out his phone. His thumb hovered over the screen for a moment before he tapped a contact labeled simply, "Dad." At the other end of the city, in a top-floor office with a panoramic view, Imran Qureshi ended a conference call and leaned back in his chair. His phone buzzed. Seeing his son's name, he smiled and answered. "Ion, everything okay?" Ion's voice was steady, but there was an edge to it. "Yeah, Dad. We just got kicked out of a car dealership." There was a pause. "Kicked out?" "Yeah. They said we don't belong there." Another pause, longer this time. "Where are you now?" "Outside. Walking home." "Stay where you are," Imran said quietly. "I'll handle it." The line went dead. Zane looked at Ion. "Is your dad mad?" Ion shrugged. "He doesn't get mad. He gets efficient." The next morning, the dealership buzzed with activity. Salespeople straightened ties, polished already spotless cars, and reviewed appointments. The manager, the same older man from the previous day, stood behind the front desk sipping coffee, confident and relaxed. Then the sound came. A low, unmistakable rumble rolled in from outside, deep and commanding. Heads turned. Through the glass walls, a convoy appeared. 2 Rolls-Royce Phantoms, identical in deep metallic blue, glided into the parking lot. Their paint shimmered under the sun, and the spirit of ecstasy ornaments caught the light like fire. Behind them followed a black Range Rover and a security vehicle. The dealership fell silent. The manager nearly dropped his cup. "Who is that?" he whispered. The cars stopped with perfect precision. Drivers stepped out, opening rear doors in unison. From the first Rolls-Royce emerged Imran Qureshi. He was tall, silver at the temples, wearing a charcoal suit that probably cost more than the manager's monthly salary. His presence seemed to fill the space around him even before he spoke. Employees scrambled toward the entrance, suddenly all smiles. "Good morning, sir," one salesperson said eagerly. "Welcome to." Imran raised a hand. "I'm not here to buy." Confusion rippled through the group. He walked inside slowly, his shoes clicking softly against the floor. His eyes scanned the showroom, calm but piercing. "Yesterday," he said, his voice even and controlled, "my son and his friend were asked to leave this dealership." The manager swallowed hard. "Sir, there must be some misunderstanding." "There is no misunderstanding," Imran replied. "I watched the security footage." The manager's face drained of color. Imran continued, "You judged 2 boys by their clothes. By how much money you assumed they had." He turned slightly, gesturing toward the glass doors. "My son grew up around cars like these. The other boy did not. That should have made him welcome, not unwelcome." The silence was suffocating. Imran's phone buzzed. He answered, put it on speaker. "Dad." Ayan's voice came through. "Come in," Imran said. "Both of you." Moments later, the doors slid open again. Ayan and Zain stepped inside. This time, every eye was on them. Zain froze, overwhelmed by the attention. Ayan placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder and guided him forward. Imran turned and smiled at them, warmth replacing the steel in his expression. "These are the boys you threw out." The manager stammered, "Sir, I didn't know." "That," Imran interrupted, "is exactly the problem." He looked at Zain. "What's your name?" "Zain, sir," he replied softly. Imran nodded. "Zain, would you like to sit in one of the cars?" Zain's eyes widened. "Me? Yes." A salesperson hurried to open the door of the black Rolls-Royce inside the showroom. Zain hesitated, then slowly sat inside, his hands trembling as he touched the soft leather. His breath caught. "It feels like a dream," he whispered. Imran watched him, then turned back to the manager. "You see, all it took was kindness." The manager lowered his head. "We made a mistake." "Yes," Imran said. "And mistakes have consequences." He paused. "Effective immediately, I'm canceling my company's maintenance contract with this dealership. And I'll be sharing my experience with a few colleagues." A quiet gasp went through the room. Imran turned to leave, placing a hand on Ayan's shoulder. "Come on, boys." As they walked out, Zain glanced back one last time, not with bitterness but with a strange sense of closure. Outside, the sun felt warmer. The world felt bigger. Zain looked at Ayan, his voice thick with emotion. "Your dad didn't do that just because he's rich." Ayan smiled. "No, he did it because he's human." Behind them, the dealership doors closed once more, but this time, the silence inside felt very different.